It does indeed, doesn't it? Both by sector and by member state within the euro area. You've got manufacturing still in quite a significant decline, but the service sector is showing signs of stabilization. So a welcome upturn there in the services PMI. And these sector variations are playing out according to member states' dependence on these different activities. Germany, the heavy manufacturer, is still reeling from this manufacturing downturn. But other member states, such as the outside of France, the rest of the Eurozone, where there's a lot of services activity, especially consumer ones, the likes of Italy, Spain, the data there has picked up quite nicely now, back into quite reasonable growth territory.
Chris, can I ask you about the supply disruptions in the Red Sea? Is that having any impact on businesses?
It's very minimal, very minimal. In January, we saw the first lengthening of supplier delivery times in a year, which was almost entirely attributed to the Red Sea disruptions. But in February, we've seen supply chains get faster. So it looks like there was a short-term hit to that, and that's now passing through. And there's very little sign of any impact on prices there as well, which is, of course, the most important concern.
Chris, you talk about this patchy recovery across sectors, also across member states. What does that all mean for the ECB, for policymakers? Because I was talking to a guest on the show yesterday, and he told me the ECB might be in for a policy mistake if they don't ease very soon. But obviously, they want to be easing after the Fed moves first. So what do you think this means for policymakers overall in the Eurozone?
It's not easy. There's different signals going in different directions. Take the price data, for example. You've got manufacturing prices continuing to fall, but service sector price inflation is accelerating. It's been accelerating again now for 4 months, and it's way above levels that you'd seen prior to the pandemic on average. And if you look outside of France and Germany, that rest of the region, the prices charged for services index there is up above 58. Now, prior to the pandemic, it never went above 55. So this is a really strong inflationary signal still in some parts of the Eurozone. So it's a really difficult decision. And I think when you look at growth picking up here, especially that service sector led growth, which is obviously a big labour market dependent sector, taking on more staff, paying them more, it's going to make some for some nervous meetings at the ECB. I can't see them moving anytime soon on these data.